Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to be K-Rending this side here. I've also got a bit around the side as well, but as you can see at the top we've got some wood, and basically I don't want the wood to be there because you can't render on that, so I bought some render board and I'm going to mesh that up and base coat it. So that's my plan. Alright, so I've marked out the line, put up there now. Right, what I'm doing now is I'm actually finding the joists so that I can mark them on the render board. I'm actually going to put the screws onto the render board ready so that when I lift it up, I can tack it up nice and easily. Right, so I've just beaded it up now. I've got my bell bead, I've got my stop bead on the corner. There's a little hole, if you can just see there. That's gonna get a new piece of plastic going on top of it, so I don't have to worry about that. So now it's time for me to put some base coat on and some mesh as well, because I don't want it to crack at all on the render board. I've got a few little areas as well that I need to focus on before I do any more. I managed to sort this out. It looks so much better. So what I did was I took out the wood and I've just doubled up the render board, and I've managed to get it pretty close now. So I'll put a little bit of base coat on that, and then I'll put some mesh on. Yeah, so it'll all be good then. But yeah, I'm running out of light quickly, so I'm just going to quickly mix a bucket of base coat, get it on the triangle, get that meshed up and scratched, and then just do these other bits here as well. Right guys, I'm doing the K-Rend today, so I'm just going to set some beads up and I'm just going to get everything around there ready for this afternoon for putting it on. So I'm just putting the beads on at the moment. So I'm just using this adhesive basically to stick the beads on with, because with plastic what tends to happen is you put nails in and they tend to warp a tiny bit each time, where with doing it with this, it actually just keeps it smooth all the way through. I've just covered up all the glass and the frames just to make cleaning a bit easier since I've got a bit more time. I've just put some tape on this one because I shouldn't really be affecting much. I'm trying to protect the brickwork as well. Brickwork is always important because K-Rend can be a bit of a swine to come off. But yeah, all my water's ready, mixer's there, just in case of getting going and get hitting it now. Right, so it's now time for me to put the K-Rend on. The sun's come out now, so that's nice. So I'm going to do this one first. I'm not going to be putting any base coat on this one because you can go straight over blockwork, and it's brand new blockwork as well. So that's fine, so I'm going to go straight over. Right, I'm all ready to go. I'm now going to chuck a mix in. Right, I'm going to mix in a big yellow tub today. I'm going to leave it in my barra. I'm probably going to mix it inside the barra just so I can move things around a bit quicker and I don't have to do any carrying, and it's going to be at a good height for me getting the stuff out of the bucket as well. So right, let's get cracking. I thought I might explain how I mix the K-Rend because some people won't know how to do it, and it's really simple. Basically it's just water and the K-Rend, but some things you need to know is it is very dusty, so wear a mask. Make sure that everything's clean, because if things aren't clean, you're gonna get stains inside the K-Rend. So first thing I'll do when I'm mixing in the yellow tub is I'll add the water in first. So I'll probably put about quarter of that with water. Another important thing to do when mixing with just a normal electric mixer is that you want to do it in stages. You don't want to just put as much of the K-Rend in as possible. You want to put a bag in, mix it up, then you want to put another bag in, and then mix that up so that you're constantly working up till you get to the stiffness that you want it to be at. Right, anyway, I'm going to start mixing now. Just going to put my mask on. Right, so this is the first mix. Pretty good. Right, I'm gonna go get the first coat on now. When I start putting on, I always start from the right to the left when I'm rendering. And I always start from the top first and then working my way to the bottom. So the main reason why I start from the top and then I work into the stuff is that I try to keep consistent thickness all the way through. So when you're working into the stuff, it's actually keeping it a constant thickness all the way through. So now I'm starting to rule off with the scraping rule. So now I've started using the scraping tool just to try and get some nice levels as I'm working along, and also this will give the render a key for next time when you come to putting on the next coat. So I've just given it a quick flatten now with the scraping tool. It's going pretty well so far, so I'm quite happy. So I'm just going to chuck this side on now before I do a second coat. I'll chuck this one on. So now I'm putting on the second coat. I'm using the rule just to get everything now as straight as possible and to make sure that I fill any areas that need filling in. This is just important to make sure that you have no dips and bumps, which will actually show up later on. So it's always important to try and get your levels as good as possible now. So just now I'm putting a little bit of extra K-Rend now all the way around the beads for when I'm going to be scraping back later. I always like to put a little bit extra on at the end just to make sure, because if there's going to be an area where it needs the most compression in, it's always going to be around the bead. Right, so these two sides are now on. They're ready now for a scrape in the morning. It's not gone as planned. I ran out of stuff, so I couldn't get that other triangle on, which is a pain in the arse. I think I've got maybe a bag left over, and there's definitely not enough there for a bag. One of the main reasons why I've run out of stuff is because I'm using 20mm beads, and I was trying to get hold of 15s and couldn't get hold of them anywhere. And yeah, so I've just got some 20s, and yeah, it's just taken a lot more stuff. So yeah, that's not ideal for me, but at least I can scrape two sides in the morning. I can go and get some more stuff tomorrow, and then hopefully in the afternoon I might be able to put a bit more on if the weather's kind to me. But yeah, no, it's gone on really well. So I've just the second coat on now. I gave it a roll just to make sure that it was level, and also to make sure that I'd gone over the beads enough so that I can scrape back to it. And yes, and then basically I just put my trowel over it just to make sure that there's no ridiculous high spots or anything, and just to compress it in ready for the morning. Right, I'm going to clean up everywhere, get some stuff on the van. Right, I've just given everywhere a bit of a clean down. Wet the floors. It's not been raining, it's okay. Yeah, ready to scrape this in the morning now, and then I'll put the rest of it on in the afternoon. Right, so that's done. Oh, I'm exhausted. It's not fun doing K-Rend on your own. So it's 20 to 6 now. I'm losing the light quite quickly, so I'm gonna have to shoot off and go and get some extra stuff tomorrow to finish it off. And the merchant that's got it in stock is nowhere near, so that's a bit of a pain. I had to go and do a trip last time, so I'm begrudging doing it again. Right, just got here. Still pretty gloomy. Let's see how the wall is. First part done. Now I'm going to start on the big gable. It's going pretty well so far. I'm pretty happy with how it's going. The light's not the best today, but I've got enough to check if there's any shines going on the wall. So Might have one just there. About here. One of the key things I was taught with K-Rend is that you're always looking for like shiny pieces. If anything's white, that's going to show up later on. So you want to be constantly looking up and down your walls for any imperfections or any sort of shiny white bits. They're the bits that haven't been scraped and they're just going to look a bugger, basically. So. So this is it currently now before it's being brushed. I'm going to give this all a nice brush now. So you want to be looking down your light. You're just looking for anything that doesn't look quite right. So you want to be going up your ladder, down your ladder, looking down the wall, trying to find any sort of shiny white bits basically. And they will show if you don't otherwise. So you want to just be looking to see if you can find any imperfections. So I could see a little area here, so I'm just gonna So if you can just see here, there's like a slight, it looks like a high spot just here that I hadn't spotted when I was actually K-rending, but when I actually put my camera on it, I could actually see it. So it does pay to have a second set of eyes when you're K-rending, but you've really have got to keep checking when you're K-rending. It's one of those jobs where the light can change and you just have to try and figure it out as you're going along. So this one's finished. The one thing that doesn't get mentioned with K-Rend is the amount of waste that you get with it, and it is quite a lot. So I've already got a bag full there just of the waste, and it's pretty heavy, but yeah, you do get a lot of waste with it, but this is just what happens when you scrape it off. But yeah, it is a bit of a pain when you have this much waste. Right, one of my tips of the day is when you've got reveals like this, you can't get your scraper in there. It's an absolute nightmare to do anything about it. What I use is my surf foam. It fits perfectly all the way along there, and obviously, and just gets it lovely and gets you a lovely finish back. Just, that's my little tip for today anyway. Right, I'm going to get this on now. I'm going to go to head cam. Guys, I'm just on my way to go and finish the K-Rend job off now. It's been a horrible night. It's been so windy. Hasn't rained though, so that's a good sign, but with how much wind we've had, I do wonder how the K-Rend's going to be, so I'm just on my way there now. I'm going to go and give that triangle a scrape, and then it'll be all finished. Well, the plastic's not going to stay on, so it's been ridiculously windy all night, and it still is now, so... Right guys, so I'm just finishing everything off now, so I'm just doing the last little bit of cleaning. And one tip I would tell you to use when you've got any plastic that's either coloured, grey, brown, anything like that, what happens with plaster is it just dries white no matter what you do if you're cleaning with water. So my tip is WD-40. It's brilliant. It just spray a bit on and just basically everything comes back to life. So that's my tip for today. Right, last bit of cleaning. Right, so that's the end of the K-Rend job. The weather's taken a turn now. I'm just at my lockup, just emptying my van off. But yeah, it's gone really well. I'm happy with how it's finished. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you do like these videos, please like and subscribe. I'll catch you on the next video. Right guys, see you on the next one. Bye!